Hi there. Um, Previously on Don, for the last couple of nights, I've been in a hotel. There's a huge snowstorm. Because of that, I'm trapped inside. There's like 2 feet of snow outside, and it's blizzard conditions. So I've been watching a movie every night. Most of them have been pertaining to that situation. So check out the previous streams, and you can get all the info on all of that. The important development of today is that now at the hotel there is a cheerleader convention, but not like a, hey, you're a single dude out on the road, isn't that awesome, a cheerleader convention dropped by? No, it's 11-year-old girls doing backflips in the hallways and screaming and yelling. So I say that because at any point during this stream, you may hear loud laughter, like scary disembodied laughter at 2:30 in the morning. You may hear screams. You could hear any of that. So basically, I thought I would watch a movie as we have been doing every night. But at first I was going to do like, cheerleader massacre or something or whether it's like a ha ha ha. But then I was like, watch, something will happen to one of these girls while I'm here talking to you guys. And they'll be like, I'll be on Making a Murderer or whatever, right? So no, since they're here, they wipe clean whatever I would pick off for a theme, and it's wild card, bitches. So we're gonna watch Chud. I love me some Chud. The fact that Chud isn't in my little oeuvre of things I've been talking about is like, how is Chud not there? It's depressing. So Echo says, "Attack of the Screaming Cheerleaders." Yes, exactly. This wall right here, I can hear them giggling. They're out walking around in the hallways. It's 2:20 in the morning. So the idea that you could hear, like I say, giggling, people running around playing tag. I opened the door at one point and they were straight up doing like little flippy things or whatever. There's like little megaphone cardboard on all the little doors of where the cheerleaders are, and the whole place is just filled with cheerleaders. So meanwhile, there's 2 feet of snow outside in blizzard conditions, and we're not supposed to go anywhere, and all the stores closed early because I decided to move to the country because I thought it'd be quaint, not realizing that when just if that Piggly Wiggly wants to shut down at 7 because it's snowing, we're shutting down at 7. I don't know why we have Southern accents. Nobody here has a Southern accent. So the point is, I'm going to watch Chud. Chud apparently is like everywhere. I think I found it on Tubi, but I'm going to watch it on Amazon Prime. I thought you guys could stay awake. What we've had going on here lately with these late night streams, I find, is it's like an old-fashioned slumber party, right? We all get together, and then eventually people are just like, look, man, I got to go to sleep. And then just they drop off as they go. So, it's a fun little game to play. As per usual, the night owl is left standing usually. So at least I haven't fallen asleep on a stream yet. Hope. That would be awesome. Like, is that good ratings or bad ratings? I don't know. But either way, I'm here talking to my friend Echo Cero. Welcome, my friend. I appreciate you being here. I thought we would get started here in just a second. It's 2:20. So as a matter of fact, let me get it queued up so it's ready to go in just a minute or two here. By the way, no, you look like an old sea captain. Yeah, CHUD, 1984. There's Brian. Hi, Night Owl. That's why I'm in my van instead of a hotel. If it gets loud around me, I just start the van and move to another spot. Yeah, that's the good point. When I was out and about starting my trip and I was figuring out where to go and what different things I wanted to see, and I was kind of using an old school map and stuff, there were nights when I just pulled over at a truck stop and stayed. For a while, I had a U-Haul that I was loading stuff back and forth in. I slept in the U-Haul one night. So yeah, I understand mobile life. It's cozy. Well, it's freeing. It's not cozy. I take that back. But you can make yourself comfortable as long as your vehicle's warm and everything. And I know you and Addie have each other to keep each other company. So Patrick is here. Bring it on. Cheer or die. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I heard him rustling over there. You know what would be funny? If they made all this noise all night and then they try to go to sleep and they call a noise complaint in on me. Then it will be Slumber Party Cheerleader Massacre 7 or whatever. I've been on streams before where the host fell asleep. That one night, it was like me, you, Tochi. I can't even remember who else all was there. A bunch of us were there at one point or another. I was giving Tochi a back rub, like virtually. Like that night, I think people were starting to doze off once or twice. And it's free to live, no bills. You get the good Wi-Fi. You got that good Wi-Fi. But yeah, That is nice. That is nice. Look, you're selling me. You're selling me. I may go. I may tour the country. Anyway, so I was gonna get Chud queued up. Chud is a personal favorite weirdo movie. It's one of these that's a connoisseur film, right? Like you might have seen it before and you kind of remember it, or a lot of times it's a punchline, like because of the grotesque monsters in it. So um, there's you look like a chud. So I love this movie. It's got twists and turns. It's got a weird environmental message. It's creepy underground like subway stuff. It deals with uh, homeless people out living in the sewers and stuff. It's got all this crazy stuff going on with it, but it actually tells a story and has a plot and plays to an ending. Something most horror movies don't do. They just give you a situation and then it just kind of fizzles out. This one has an arc and takes you on a trip. I like it. So. As per usual, I will ask the Devil's Rejects cheerleader redemption. Yeah. Echo says there was one stream where we kept trying to wake the host up. We got to snoring. Are we talking about the Ice Lord? Was Wes sleeping on a stream? Yeah, I found Chud on Amazon for free, Amazon Prime, but I believe it's also on Tubi, which means if it's on more than one streaming service at one time, it's probably a lot of places, right? So yeah, if you want a second to track that down, it's 224. So let's get started in a minute. How's that? 225, nice and easy. The old 225 showing of Chud. That's some midnight movie stuff right there. And I also have a beer, so don't worry, the commentary will get entertaining at some point. As it were, I think we should probably start watching Chud. So I'm going to press play on this bad boy. And let me, hold on, it restarted. All right. So we are at the beginning. The RLJ Entertainment logo comes up. C.H.U.D, Chud. Yeah, Chud is a classic. When I was a kid, it was in the video stores, right? It was always on. Like the cover was real intriguing, right? The monster hand coming up out of the sewer. As a little kid, it's crazy. The cover actually looks a little bit like a Ninja Turtles or something, except the Ninja Turtles look fun, and this looks, monstrous and messed up. So, I believe the thumbnail for this I picked was the Chud coming out, because that's the image I remember being in as a little kid in the video store, just like, I want to see Chud, man. And even as a kid, Chud kind of like grabbed me. It's got a charm to it. It's another one like Motel Hell, like where it feels like it's cheap schlock, but it's actually like kind of like masterful, because it has no CGI. Like here's a crane shot in an empty street. It's all watered down and beautiful. This woman's walking a poodle in an old 1950s dress down the middle of a street. Like it looks like surreal art. And then here's a damn steaming sewer pipe or a manhole cover. And a monster hand busts out of it and grabs her and her poodle and pulls it in, leaving a shoe behind like Cinderella. And then the little manhole cover covers it up in Chud. C.H.U.D. The reason it's initialed like that, as I understand it, people say an acronym, but as I understand it, an acronym has to be a word, like MAD, Mothers Against Driving, or whatever, right? But initials like FBI and Chud or whatever. So I guess Chud would be an acronym, right? So the acronym of Chud is it plays out several ways in this movie. It's also fun to say, just Chud. So the original, what we're going to get to here in a minute, was we're going to find out that it's cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. And then as the movie rolls on, we eventually get to try to understand what else it means. So this is all classic 1980s beat down New York with like graffiti everywhere and old brick buildings and all this. And there's like, here's an unhoused dude who looks like Henry Rollins just wandering around talking to himself. And there's another older woman, she dirty and hurting. She has the same scarf as MJF though. That's kind of fun. So I am at the 247 mark. Let me see here. Echo says, so what do you think about the Ty West Mia Goth news? What was all that? She kicked somebody in the head during Maxine? Is that what you're talking about? I saw I get most of my news now from Instagram feed. There's people who post little pictures with news snippets, but that means I end up just reading headlines, which is the worst way to absorb any news because you're totally uninformed and you fall for clickbait headlines in your mind. So yeah, I don't know much more about it other than that. The Ice Lord did sleep on stream. I think I was there for that one. But Ice Lord, he works a lot. Plus, he parties on the weekends, man. If you ever do the van life, you come here to New Hampshire. If I do van life, I'm going somewhere warm, brother. First thing I'm doing is heading south and then working my way across the country south, so I can avoid the weather and the driving. If I get the hankering for the weather, then I can start driving north. But then I still want to be able to run back. It's like going into the pool. You always want that freedom. Go back, right? Mia West, Ty West, A24 being sued because someone said she kicked him in the head while filming a scene and then mocked them. Oh, I didn't know about the mock parts. It was even worse than the headline. What do you know? So in the movie, we see old buddy, what's his name? Let me bring up the CHUD info. I always love the info section of the show. Although I already have the word chud typed in, so we don't have to do a lot of search this time. We have our lead, who is, what is dude's name? Yes, John Hurd. I wanted to call him Joe Hurd. John Hurd. He's the lead. Him and Daniel Stern are the main two dudes. So it's very 80s on that front, right? But brief synopsis is a bizarre series of sudden disappearances on the streets of New York seems to point towards something unsavory living in the sewers, which we've already saw in the friggin' credits. Let me turn off some of this stuff here so I don't blow you guys away. So here we see him, fighting with his girlfriend, classic 80s stuff. And yeah, she's a photographer. And I remember they had some sort of relationship where he brings her down towards where the chuds are. So let me see. Yeah, no, I was unaware of that news, Echo. I mean, like I said, I heard the basics. I don't know how much they're getting sued for, but I would imagine a lot. They'll probably settle. Most of those things end in a settlement. I did the Florida thing way too hot. I'd rather do it the cold than the heat any day of the week. Yeah, I'm a cold person too, but I worry about vehicle problems. That's the only thing I'd be aware of is it's cool. But yeah, guys, when you're out and about moving around, so. Oh, also, I should mention, because of the snowstorms that are going on, I believe the snow is kind of chilled out, but it's still super windy, and we got a bunch of snow and ice on wires and towers and whatnot. So if at any point there's some sort of, internet fluctuation, I'll be back as soon as it kicks back on. When it happened during the Shining stream, I froze for, a minute or two, and then as soon as everything kicked back on, at one point during the Shining stream, the electricity went out. So I just later on put chapters in. So if I freeze and you're listening to a replay of this, just go ahead and you'll find the next chapter where I start talking again. But really, should anybody be subjected to me talking? So yeah, here we see, man, life in New York is rough. These people are all hardworking people and they live in the slums. They all have good, respectable, high-paying jobs and they just live in the worst conditions. Ridiculous. I say ridiculous. Echo says, first CHUD movie is a good one. The second one, so much. Yeah, exactly. For those of you who don't know, there's a second CHUD movie, CHUD 2, Bud the CHUD. It has nothing to do, basically, with this. There might be some sort of the chemical stuff. I don't remember. But ultimately, Bud the CHUD was like a zombie movie, kind of. It's like a real watered-down, tame ripoff of Dead Alive. They're just trying to keep a zombie corralled. As where this is about like slimy monsters that live in the sewer, and there's a horde of them, and where are they coming from? And I mean, there's actually like stuff in this movie. Earlier, I was on Rob's Vintage Video, and we talked about some tapes, had a few beers, just sort of hung out. And at one or two points during that stream, we heard loud yelling and screaming in the background. So if at any point you hear that, please do not have me swatted. If it's still going on like Monday or something, then go ahead and turn me in. But yeah, by then, hopefully this needs to be done. Yeah, 1980s New York just always looks brutal. I guess all New York looks brutal to me. Just, I'm not that type of person. Like just piles of trash everywhere and stuff. Like there's a big pile of garbage that clearly has vomit all over it. This is an interesting horror movie. This is more of a monster movie, I would say, than a horror movie. Obviously, it's pretty scary. Especially when I was a little kid, I found it scary. The idea that there were monsters living, in the sewer and in the trash. Um, I think we all kind of heard tales of uh, alligators in the sewer, right? I mean, I think we all know there's rats down there and stuff, so it's not like any place you want to be hanging out. But I think we've heard like various monsters. This movie it feels like a spiritual cousin to The Stuff. It's like a detective trying to solve like a weird, creepy murder, and all this crazy stuff is going on. Um, this one is good because, like I say, it deals with the poverty situation. It deals with climate. There's all these like political messages going on in it as well. But at the same time, it's friggin' chud, right? That's why it's awesome. You can think or you can not think. It's a perfect movie. So we're currently at the police station, and we're seeing some 1980s cops doing New York cops doing 1980s New York cops things. They both got the mustache. It's a requisite. We're at the 9:57 mark. This is Vic Palacios as Hayes. He's been in a bunch of mobster movies and stuff. So sorry, I got entranced in 1980s New York police stations. It's hard not to. So here's like the mayor or whatever. Oh, that's the chief of police. Yeah, there's kind of this whole thing where they we watch these homeless people, and then the government steps in and they kind of lead everybody astray on what actually is going on with the chuds. But the movie itself, yeah, it plays like a traditional monster movie. There's we get glimpses, we don't get a good look. It slowly builds. Let's see here. As I was saying, it was directed by Douglas Cheek, old Dougie Cakes. Let me see. He's known he's an editor primarily, but as a director, he directed Vegetable Soup, a TV series. He directed Chud. Then he directed Empires, Peter and Paul and the Christian Revolution. And those are the only 3 movies he's ever directed. That's brutal. Dougie Cheeks, you took a beating, buddy. Yeah, he's edited a bunch. He's been an editor. Well, at least he stopped in 2011. He's still with us. Okay, so the director of Chud isn't particularly notable. I mean, good for you, Doug Cheeks, but Doug Cheek. I shouldn't pluralize your cheek. Sorry, Doug. Oh, hey, there's oh goodness, dude from The Simpsons. What's his name? Why am I not finding him? Where's the pause? It'll tell me. Sam McMurray, Cordes Eddie Jones. I guess it's Sam McMurray, huh? Yeah, that's him. Did I make up that he's in The Simpsons, or does he look like somebody on The Simpsons? Because I know he used to be on Tracy Ullman and all that. He's mainly the guy I know from Raising Arizona. He's the guy who's like, yeah, I can't have a kid. There's something wrong with semen. He's got 202 acting credits. So he'd be working. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's been working on The Simpsons regularly. Maybe I just made that up. Apparently I did. Come on. The odds are he had to have. Yeah, he does a lot of voiceover work. Law and Order, Justice League, Lloyd in Space, Free For All, Tracy Ullman in the Trailer Tales, Spin City, The Sopranos, Malcolm in the Middle, Freaks and Geeks, Batman Beyond, The Mod Squad, Batman Beyond the Movie, Batman Beyond the New Adventures, Johnny Bravo. So no wonder he jumped out like the Munster Scary Little Christmas. So Sam McMurray, your credits are killing, and I never even knew that was your name. Addams Family Values, Batman the Addams series, the animated series, Parker Lewis Can't Lose, Class Act, Blossom, Home Improvement, Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth. Oh, man. Do you know... Never mind, that's not important. Who's the Boss? LA Story, Married with Children, Tracy Ullman, The Simpsons. He's Gulliver Dark, Duff commercial voiceover voice. He looks just like the announcer, the TV host. Golden Girls, The Wizard. You ever see The Wizard with Fred Savage, the Nintendo movie? National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. He plays Bill. Matlock, Head of the Class, 21 Jump Street, Moonlighting, Hill Street Blues. This is like a who's who of good stuff. Miami Vice, Chud, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back radio drama. This dude's like living my dream career. The Ropers, Jeffersons, Kojak. Yeah, this guy's the best actor ever. Sam McMurray, I didn't really know who you were till today, and you are the hero of today's stream. Here's to you. Yeah, cheers to Sam Murray. Let me turn this on. So right now the police are... why aren't you opening? There we go. Okay. Tonight I will be drinking the Rocky's Revenge. How's that? A little too whatever. The Rocky's Revenge is there's a local sea monster. Lake Mills has a Rock Lake, and in the lake there's all sorts of weird stuff going on. There's a sea monster, or a lake monster, as it were, that people see. Rocky in Rock Lake, obviously, and then that's what the little picture here. There's Rocky the sea monster. There we go. Yeah. And people see the sea monster in there. But in this same lake, they also see weird pyramids, some sort of like wooden, like teepees, some people call them. Other people just say like some sort of triangular structure made out of wood. But then they send divers down there and nobody can see them. And then some fishermen will be like, I see pyramids down there. And they'll send divers down there and there's no pyramids. So yeah, between the sea monster and whatever, something crazy is going on at Rock Lake. There was this old Native American tribe that lived there that disappeared one day. It's Aztlan, or I think that's how you pronounce it. Some people think they're Aztecs. I think that's been debunked. But yeah, so I'm drinking the special cryptid weirdo local legend beer to support weirdo local legend stuff. So now here's Daniel Stern. And man, is is Jufro politically correct? Am I allowed to say that? Did I just get canceled? His hair is jumping. It's like, when he's, Harry in Home Alone? Yeah, because Marv is Pesci, right? So he's a wet bandit here. He's all greasy. But he gets like a big starring role in this. Let's look in... Let's see what's shaking with Daniel Stern's career. You guys, we don't have time for Daniel Stern's career. Oof. He's AJ the Reverend Shepherd in this. Daniel Stern has only 77 acting roles. Oh, man, I would have thought twice that. That's crazy. He's got 6 directing roles, or credits, I should say, I'm sorry, and 2 writing credits. He wrote, an episode of... Get the F out. He was an uncredited writer on Chud. So there you go. Daniel Stern helped write this. I bet he probably helped write his scenes or something like that. That's pretty common, right? He came to set and was just kind of half a jerk about his scenes. As a director, he did The Wonder Years, 10 episodes. He directed Rookie of the Year, the baseball movie. I didn't know that. He directed an episode of The Paul Reiser Show, an episode of Complete Savages, and an episode of Manhattan, 2 episodes of Manhattan, and 3 episodes of Complete Savages. Daniel Stern's acting credits, these are the ones we mostly know. Oh, let's see here. He started in 1979 with Breaking Away. Breaking Away is a classic, really good movie. If you haven't seen that, it feels like an indie movie, if there is such a thing back in the 70s. I guess they're all indie movies in the 70s. But 1979, it's like a small town bike racing movie, which sounds incredibly boring, but it's really, really good. Then he was in Stardust Memories, Starting Over, Small Circle of Friends, Stardust Memories, One Trick Pony, Honky Tonk Freeway. Diner is also another big turn for him. A lot of people love that movie. It was kind of the dude bro movie for the generation before mine. So, if you're into good movies about fellas being fellas together, check out Diner. I'm Dancing as Fast as I Can. Blue Thunder. If you haven't seen Blue Thunder, that's Roy Scheider and Daniel Stern, and they're helicopter pilots, like police helicopter pilots, and they get caught up in some convoluted film noir mystery plot thing, and the way they get out of it is by driving a helicopter crazy or flying a helicopter crazy. He was in the Samson and Delilah movie. With that hair, I can see why. He played Micah. He was in Chud. He was in Frankenweenie, the short. He was in Hannah and Her Sisters, Born in East LA, DOA. If you ever saw that, it's a remake. There's an old school DOA, the black and white one, but then they remade it with Dennis Quaid and maybe what's her name? Meg Ryan, I think, maybe, I don't know. The Milagro Beanfield War, Leviathan. I forgot about Leviathan. He's good in Leviathan. I know this crowd. If you're watching Chud, you're probably a fan of Leviathan. If not, you need to go see Leviathan. But that's a classic sea monster movie. Little Monsters he was in. That's awesome. Fred Savage. My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis. The mobster movie. That's fun. Home Alone, of course. We all know Home Alone. He was a narrator voice on one episode of The Simpsons. He was in City Slickers and Home Alone 2. He was the Wonder Years narrator. So if you're a fan of the Wonder Years, obviously, that's his voice. Rookie of the Year, he was in. Celtic Pride. Oh, yeah, that's right. Him and Aykroyd kidnap Damon Wayans. I get my Wayans confused. Sorry. It's late in the day to be trying to juggle Wayanses, especially with my bad shoulder. Very Bad Things. Oh, yeah, that's right. Very Bad Things is an underrated classic. If you're into watching other people comedically suffer, I recommend Very Bad Things. How to Kill Your Neighbor's Dog. Geesh, settle down. Bunch of stuff I'm not interested in ever seeing. He was on Family Guy, of course, for one episode. So I bet he narrated a Wonder Years joke. Monk. Whip It. I always meant to see Whip It, the roller derby movie. Battle of the Bulbs, which was like a Christmas movie. A Christmas Story 2, which is terrible. Don't ever see. I have it rated 2 stars. Home Alone deleted scenes. That's a lame credit. And that's it. So yeah, you kind of fizzled out on me there, Daniel Stern, somewhere around when was your last thing I liked? Boy, you're making me struggle here. Daniel Stern's last thing I liked was Very Bad Things in 1998. So damn, right? Damn. So where am I in the movie? Okay, they're in the subways now. That's the problem with these monster movies, right? It's just a monster. So you have to like pace out the monster like a movie, right? Or well, Jesus Christ, I'm like a movie because it's a movie. No, you have to like pace it out like music, right? So you have to kind of set the monster early, and then you have to like maybe give it a little time, give it room to breathe. You should probably have a monster beat like maybe every 10 minutes. So I think it's been a minute since we've had a monster beat, but now this woman's taking him down in the sewer. like I said, our main guy's a reporter, and he's kind of doing this story about what's happening to all these homeless people that are disappearing. So he's learning they have all these houses underground by the subway. There's like tunnels down there and stuff. So she's taken him to show where they live. It's really kind of interesting and cool. Let's catch up on the chat. Right. Brian said he likes Chud. This one, yeah, I enjoy it too. The one and only MSJ. Hey, howdy everyone. Thank you for hanging out, man. I appreciate it. I think this is your maybe your first stream with us. Heck yeah, Mr. Bones is here. Mr. Bones. I was going to make a joke about your accents, but I can't do it. Me and Mr. Bones are at odds whether how cool his voice is. Let's see here. People are talking to each other in the chat. Echo Zero, California. It's windy here, only and rainy. Yeah, we're. Oh, and here's a Guy is here. Hey, thank you, Guy. Says, hey, everybody, please hit the like button. So yeah, once again, I'm Don. Thank you for hanging out with me and watching tonight. We're watching Chud on Tubi. Well, I'm sorry, I'm watching it on Prime, but it's also available, I believe, on Tubi. It's all over the damn place. I'm at the 23:25 mark. And now people are saying, hey, to Caveman Movies and More, our friend and hilarious all-around guy. Daniel Stern's wife is in Chud. She plays the first woman they kill in the movie. Oh, his wife is the like 1950s lady walking the poodle. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. You like my hat, Night Owl. Thank you, my friend. It's, like I say, it's freezing and cold out there. I think, let's find out. The current temperature where I'm at. Last time I looked, it was okay. So right now it's 24 and it's snowing, but we're supposed to get another 3 to 4 inches of snow before 6 a.m. And then tomorrow it will get down to 8 degrees. And then where was it? I believe on Monday was the day it was hell. Yeah, Sunday will be high of 1 degree, low of -12. Monday, -2 with a low of -13. And then Tuesday, we're going to have a warm spell. It's going to get up to 0 with a low of -5. So all this snow is going to fall and then freeze, and no one's going to be able to go anywhere. So, yeah, I'm pretty much going to be here watching movies, okay? Cheers. But thank you, my friend. When I wear the hat, I get the fun hair. So just to keep me warm. And this beard is getting fluffy. I'm kind of anxious for this. I've known all along we're going to get the big winter blast. Like it's been real like timid all winter. They said there was a farmer's almanac was like, oh, it's going to be a chill winter or whatever, a moderate winter. And of course it was. And I knew it's like eventually winter's going to show up, though. It's not just gone. It didn't disappear for a year. So, yeah, now that it's here, I'm kind of mentally prepared. Let's see here. And Jim is here. He says, good morning, everyone. Hey, Jim, how are you? You are hilarious, man. Jim, did you cancel your Instagram? I was trying to find you on there, and I don't know yet. I think you're gone from there now. Let's see here. And there's the coffee for Jim. And everybody's saying hi to Jim. And Caveman says, rest in peace, Tisa Farrow. Yeah, we were talking about her. She was brought up on last night's stream, I believe. Yeah, that's nice that the community appreciates folks that kind of fly under the radar for a lot of these. I know, like when, Harley Quinn passed away or whatever, like, a lot of these folks who people are beloved in our community and don't really get the love other places. The people here lift them up. I like that. You're getting a lot of snow there. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm right near a ski resort. So for them people, it's all good, but they can't go skiing with like ear fall off weather. So I don't know. I was planning on going to check out. There's a town about an hour away from here that had 3 vampire sightings and a werewolf sighting. So I was looking forward to getting over there, and I kind of looked ahead on the 10-day map or weather forecast and tried to figure out what exactly was going on with whether or not I'd be able to freeze or not. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to get caught in the middle of nowhere by a farm country and my car freezes down or something. So I'm just going to hunker down until we get back up above 10 degrees. And by then the snow should start disappearing by some time. Do you always wear a beard? No. Sometimes in the summer, I like when we first get our first warm weather of the year, like the first day where it's like 75 and everybody's putting on shorts or whatever. Actually, around here, it's freezing. So the first day it's like 50 people put on shorts. But yeah, the first day it's like, ooh, summer's here. Yeah, I usually trim it down pretty short. But I have to have some sort of facial hair. It's my face requires it. I don't know. When I'm baby faced, I look very weird. There was a video. I talked about the best high school basketball movies. It's on my channel. You can go through the 5-4 series, and there's 5 for high school basketball. And I shaved my face to look baby faced in there. So I think the thumbnail maybe even just has a picture of me. Yeah, I'm kind of weird looking without any sort of facial hair. I'm weird looking with facial hair. So imagine how weird it is without. Uh, Caveman says 25 degrees here in Kentucky. Yeah, that's what we got is 24. So, but yeah, it's supposed to get bad. Glad you're liking the jokes. Posting a new video. Yeah, I saw you posted that one. Are you talking about a new one since the one I saw? Do you always wear underwear, Night Owl? And when I do, it's something fairly exotic. Hey, shout out to Stripes. Um, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, to be honest. I don't like free balling it. You know what I mean? There's something about nuts against the inside of denim, like especially in the zipper towards your junk. Like I don't know, I don't like it as a dude. You know what I mean? I don't know. Dudes are gross, man. All people are gross. Human beings are gross. Mecco says, I hate being clean shaven with my goatee. You can see my second chin. Well, that's all you can see since I don't have a chin. I think that's a case for a lot of us. I think that's why facial hair kind of makes a man, I don't know. It, for people who like the way men look, it makes a man look more like a man. So a lot of times, whatever you can work, some sort of mustache, whatever. But there are some people who just have good face, right? It's like, why would you hide your good face if you got a beard or whatever? But yeah, like I say, I look better usually when I look kind of furry. You guys are laughing. I'm sure that has to do with my comments about balls and butts inside of denim, right? The cold zipper against like your dong, all that. Yeah, I just don't dig it. I don't dig it. I usually go with boxer briefs, right? Cheers to the boxer brief. Uh, they're all purpose. Every now and then you got to go with the regular old school, the old man boxers when you're just hanging out, and those are cozy and loose, let everything hang. But otherwise, yeah, no, I prefer draws. Brian says he's a free ball. He's a little too big for underwear. That a boy. That a boy. No, yeah. No, every time I think about it, even I think I've had to do it once or twice for whatever reason, weird circumstance or something. But yeah, no, in general, I prefer draws. Uh, I can rely on my junk to look manly, so I have the goatee. Your junk is probably fine, Jim. I mean, I'm trusting. You know what? I'm just gonna say you're a cool enough guy that your junk is probably awesome. Let me see here. He's Italian. What are you gonna do? Bada bing. I have a beard, but I'm a caveman after all. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Um, yeah, that's the thing. I have a pretty thick beard. It was weird. It didn't grow in until I was like in my late 20s. Like when I was a teenager, I had like the little wispy mustache like grandmas have and stuff. But then like sometime like around 26 or 27, it just started growing in thick and full. I don't know. Late puberty and shit. So here, back in the movie, the girlfriend is he's getting ready to go back on one of his missions out to find chuds. He's hunting chuds in the sewer, which right away the plot picked up when you hear that sentence. And his girlfriend, the photographer, is like, "I'm pregnant." So they're going to sit down and have a talk. And this gets back to what we've talked about in lots of our other horror movies discussions is you got to make me care about the characters, put stuff on the line, make stakes. So the stakes here is that obviously he loves her. When something happens, it's important he saves her. But now she's also got the baby, and I mean, they're just raising the tension of things that could go wrong, so it builds to a crescendo, right? First time I saw Chud was it came out in '84, so I'm guessing I probably first saw it probably '85, '86 when it was on whenever it came out on VHS. Yeah, that cover was a grabber. I think this one and what's the one? The Exterminator, maybe, where the dude's on the cover with a flamethrower and he's got like a welder's helmet on and stuff. Those two were like the bangers at the video store in the 1980s. That cover would just grab you. Like, I got to see those movies. So, yeah, this is a classic cover art banger. But once again, they're stretching. They're just stretching. Like, we've introduced that there's going to be a baby, and now they're sitting here and they're hugging and kissing and kind of just talking about their feelings and stuff. It's like, just get back to giving us chud. So that was interesting. They faded to black and they cut back to them after, like, post sex, laying in bed, cuddling or whatever. So yeah, they faded it out. That's interesting. Usually in these movies, they use an excuse for nudity or sex. They went to black on me. Oh, let's see in the chat. Never knew flushing piranhas was a thing. um, No Man's Land. Hello, No Man's Land. Welcome. Jerry O'Connell hates piranhas. Yeah, he does. He should. Um, has he had any other instances with them beyond that movie Piranha? Because if it's more than one, then it might be on him. That's a pattern, then, right? So yeah, folks are welcome in No Man's Land to the chat. That's nice to see y'all. So here's awesome cinematography. There's the up at the front, in the foreground. There's the sewer, a manhole cover, and the ground is all cobblestone brick, like brick streets, and it's all watered down, so it looks really cool and reflective. And then there's an old school telephone booth in the background, so we get like this foreground shot of the manhole cover lifting up and these monster hands coming out, and then these people in the background at the phone booth trying to make a phone call. And it's a man and a little girl, and the little girl's watching the chud come out of the sewer, and she's like trying to tell her dad, like, "Daddy, Daddy," and he's like, "Not now. I'm on a business phone call or whatever." Actually, I believe they're lost. Yeah, he just said lost, and he opens up the door, and the chud is there with the glowing eyes and the monster face and the teeth, and we just get a quick shot of it, and it cuts away. So it's classic Jaws. You know what I mean? Just show us a little teeny glimpse of the monster and then cut away. Is there any snow in Chud? I thought you was on a snow theme. Bones pays attention. No, Bones, actually, at the beginning of the stream, I kind of mentioned that tonight at the hotel, yeah, we're getting killed with snow. But tonight at the hotel, there's a cheerleader convention. So I am just bombarded with cheerleaders and young girls yelling and screaming behind this wall. There's little girls giggling. I can hear them. So I was going to do like some sort of, slumber party cheerleader massacre or whatever. And then I was like, you know what? Something bad's going to happen and I'm going to end up being in troubles. And so I don't want that to happen. So I decided wild card, bitches. So my wild card pick was Chud. It came down to Chud and The Gate. Tomorrow I'm going to get back to snowy movies, and I still haven't picked out a movie to watch with Larry yet. So yeah, it's very astute of you to pay attention to my snow theme, but I had to take a little bit of break from the cold movies. The cheerleaders gave us a reprieve. Freeballing, a song never sung by Tom Petty. That's another thing. When it's like -9, I for sure can't freeball, right? Like, oh, this the cold zipper. Oof. Yeah, you guys are wild for that. Cheerleaders and chud? I don't think so. But in my name, yeah, I put cheerleaders plus hotel equals under duress. There we go. So I'm once again being clever. Shout out to me. Um, I haven't done Storm of the Century, but actually I was going to do it. So you are awesome for calling that No Man's Land. You get a cheers for that. Uh, I found two different versions on YouTube today, but they're both like 4 hours or something ridiculous, like 4.5 hours. So I don't know. I thought about doing it, but that means I would have to start at like midnight or 1 and go till 5 in the morning. So that's a long ass stream. But I am thinking about maybe doing it, maybe even in two parts. I love Storm of the Century; it's great, but I don't know how much I would be able to talk about for that long. Like, I mean, I guess there's always stuff to talk about, but um, yeah, it seems like that's really drawn out. And I think I feel bad for my audience. I've been bombarding them with these snowed in movies. I wanted to give them some break. I actually wanted to watch Ravenous. Have you ever seen that one? Guy Pearce. He's like a Civil War. I guess it's what do you call it? Frontier men, whatever, cavalry. I can't think of what word I'm looking for. Those outposts we had in the old West when we were moving west as a country. And like, dude gets caught up in a snowstorm and he ends up like there's a cannibal and whatever. It's crazy. But I was going to watch Ravenous. Yeah, no luck. Um, Bones says, hold on, let me go back. Where is he? Yeah, Storm of the Century does have snow. Yes, it does. Bones says, I love the gate. Yeah, it came down to the gate in the chud. And I decided to go with chud for some reason. It was an hour and a half. I would get it done quick. I love me some chud. The fact that it wasn't already done in this channel is kind of a bummer. So I love Storm of the Century. Give me what I want and I'll go away. Yeah, that's what was the new one? Knock at the Door. When that came out, it felt a lot like Storm of the Century. I mean, a little bit different, but same kind of premise. Like, give me a sacrifice and I will stop this plague. Um, but old Buddy is really good in it. I can't think of dude's name. The main guy who plays the devil or whatever. He's really good in that. Um, what kind of beer are you drinking, Night Owl? The whole, I mentioned it earlier. It's the local Sea Monster tribute beer, the Rocky's Revenge. It's a tribute to the local legend about a lake monster. Echo says, "Good night, kids. He's got a busy day tomorrow. Good night, my friend. I appreciate you hanging out. You always you set the party off, brother." Oh shit! Caveman says Insomnia would be a good snowy movie for Insomniacs to watch in the middle of the night. I think you may have picked out my next movie, Caveman. I'll see if I can find that one. Everybody's saying good night to Echo, which is cool. It's very strange here in Rochester, New York. It's 40 at 4 a.m. and no snow. That is crazy for Rochester. I would have thought you guys would be pretty much on the same weather as me. Between us and Buffalo, we get buried. Have I seen Dead Snow? I have not. I always wanted to. And then Dead Snow 2, I hear is good also. Is that one? I need to see both of those. But I think that's the problem is I have trouble finding the first one, but the second one's like everywhere. Everybody's saying goodnight to Echo. No, Storm is way better. I didn't dig Knock that much. Yeah. Storm is way better than Knock at the Door, but I mean, it was that same kind of thing. Like, give us a sacrifice and we'll stop this plague kind of thing. And then you have to play that. There's this old Alfred Hitchcock movie called Lifeboat, and it's or a really good movie that used to be on, it must be on Netflix still, called The Circle or something, where basically they just decide the value of a human life. Like, here's all of us. Who's the one we should kill? Like, it's an interesting like character study to watch people have this like 12 Angry Men discussion and figure out like, okay, your life is worth more than mine because you have kids. It's like, well, who says? Wrong Turn 4 is also in the snow and it's a prequel and it's pretty cool. I haven't seen Wrong Turn 4. I also thought about doing what's the Tremors one? Tremors 6 or 7. There's one that's a Tremors in the snow. I also thought about doing 30 Days of Night. That was on the docket. That's also available like everywhere. I found it on Tubi. I think 30 Days of Night 1 and 2 are both on Tubi. Um, Also, The Lodge. If you've seen The Lodge, that's a pretty good, crazy blizzard snowed in movie. Obviously, The Thing is probably my most favorite all time snowed in movie. But I had mentioned before I had watched it, and that's on my channel. There's highlights of it, all cut together with effects and whatnot. It's a fun time. Oh, I'm getting scratchy voice. I'll have to have a whirl of water here in a second. Gosh darn it. Give me a break here. No Man's Land says, give me a break. I think the seasons are changing. Watch the snow hit come February. Yeah, I'm wondering, since winter is starting now, does that mean it's going to stop in April like it's supposed to, or am I going to be like shoveling in June? Insomnia is on Paramount and Tubi. There you go. I'll watch it on Tubi. That might be tomorrow's movie. I think Guy has picked out tomorrow's flick. 30 Days of Night is awesome. Frozen is a good movie too. Yeah, we did that 3 nights ago. Not the Disney one, the ski lift movie. We started off this whole adventure when the snow started with Frozen, and then since I'm in a hotel, we moved on to The Shining, and then since I'm in a motel, we did Motel Hell, and then like I said, the cheerleaders are here, so I decided Wild Card Bitches. So we ended up with Chud. Dreamcatcher might be like, yeah, I don't know. I might need to go outside and take a toke and come back and drink 3 beers and watch Dreamcatcher with y'all. I'm sure I would have plenty to say about the poop monster in Dreamcatcher. Oh, he loves Duddits. Duddy. Yeah, who's that? Mark Wahlberg? Donnie Wahlberg. I should have known. I'm Don. You know what I'm thinking. People hate on it, but you love Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher's. I agree. The snow part of Dreamcatcher, where they're in the woods, is very snowy. It's beautiful. It reminds me of why I like snowy weather, and then I like seeing the trees all covered in snow and stuff. But um, I like the character dynamic of the dudes, interplay with all that. But once we get to the poop monster, and once Morgan Freeman shows up, and it just gets wild, crazy. Like that's one of those where I think King was probably on a lot of coke. No Man's Love says he loves Dreamcatcher too. Donnie's an awesome actor. He plays a slimmer, slick type in The Sixth Sense. Yeah, yeah, where he looks like a heroin addict or whatever. He's all like pale and skinny and white. Yeah, I think he lost like I don't know. He did like a De Niro and lost like 60 pounds or whatever to play that role. Um, uh, yeah, he's skin and bones and creepy. I didn't even recognize him when I saw him in that. So now back in the movie, dude's going around talking to the other like homeless people who live above ground, and he's like, "So what's up with the sewer people? I haven't seen them in a while." Yada yada. He's like, "So you'll figure out what's going on with them." Oh yeah, it's this dude. He's narking them out. He's letting them know the cops are going nuts trying to figure out why a bag lady wants a handgun because they know that there's a monster in the sewer. Um, he's good at dropping weight fast. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was exaggerating when I said 60 pounds. I don't think he actually had 60 pounds to lose, but I mean, that's what I mean. He did some sort of insane big weight loss, deal to be in that movie, and then he put it back. Um, we were watching The Dead Zone last night. I forgot to include that in my list of movies I've been watching. We watched The Dead Zone last night with Christopher Walken, and you can tell in that in the beginning he's more round faced. So he must have put on weight maybe after the movie, and they came back and shot the prologue. Um, he's got like his hair's all combed forward. He's got kind of chubby cheeked. And then later on, after he wakes up from his coma, Brooke Adams tells him like, "You've lost weight." So yeah, I think he probably did the reverse. He went and quick put on 20 pounds or something. I believe that's what Tom Hanks did for what is it, Castaway. He lost a bunch of weight to play the role, and then they shot all the stuff on the island with him skinny, because that's the hard part, is getting skinny, right? So then right after then they shut down for like a couple months, and he just ate pancakes for every meal and milkshakes before bed and just whatever he wanted, McRibs and shit. And then uh, McRib smoothies. You ever had the McRib smoothie? You put it in a blender. Ooh, it's delicious. Put some fries in there. Uh, so he put on just a bunch of weight to play the before and well, I guess the pre island stuff. The classic losing weight is probably De Niro in Raging Bull, losing weight and putting on weight, I should say. So here we see in the government office, they have the classified file for Project Chud. And this is the first time in the movie we've heard the name. We've kind of heard Chud thrown around, but um, he's like, "Well, I have to get clearance to tell you guys what Chud is." And they determine it's a cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller. I always remember that. I never have to look it up. It's just you friggin' Chud. Let me see here. Who we got here? Yeah, a lot of people with no photos in their IMDb's. This movie was a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb, and it is oh boy, a 29% by the critics on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see what the audience gives it. A 29% for the critics and a 33% for the audience. So this is universally awful to people. Nobody likes it. That's hilarious. I love Chud. Um, Here we see the mayor going to have his talk with the highfalutin people of the city, and they're explaining that this is like the scientist that's showing him the you're dressed as the bum, and they pull it back. Yeah, they have like these hazmat suits on because it's all contagious. So it's like super, Andromeda strain or outbreak, and we can see in the reflection of the face masks, the grossed out, decomposed body of what a chud does to you after it messes with you, right? So once again, really cool shot. We didn't get a good look at it. We saw it in the reflection. Yeah, I think critics should retake a look at this one. I stand by my. So far, it's holding up to me. I don't care what these people say. Um, let's find out what else we got. What kind of budget? The budget was 1.25 million, and it made a box office of 4.7. So it made back way more than double its money back, which means that's a success. Audience on Google says it's 70%. So that's interesting. Yeah, Chud 2, Bud the Chud. The Stuff is the first movie they recommend. So yeah, I called that a spiritual cousin to The Stuff. Also, Basket Case they recommend. Chopping Mall. Humanoids from the Deep, Maniac Cop, Rawhead Rex. I can totally see Rawhead Rex. And you know what? I was going to say Q the Winged Serpent, too. This has a feeling like Q the Winged Serpent. If you haven't seen that, that's another classic, great monster movie to check out. So now the government is going down into the sewers with these like hazmat outfits, and they got flamethrowers, and this is totally Aliens. Like we see the cameras, and they're trying to look for the monsters in the tunnels. Yeah, this is just great. Yeah, I disagree with the critics totally. Everybody everywhere is wrong except for me. Oh, let's get back to the chat. The Ice Road is fun with Liam Neeson. Yeah. I actually have reviewed that twice on my channel. I did a shorts review of it, and then a bunch of people talked to me about the shorts of review of it. They're like, "You were hard on the Ice Road," and I'm like, "It's the Ice Road. Get off my ass." So then even my mom mentioned, like, "I liked the Ice Road. You were too tough on it." So yeah, I've seen it. I did like a 6 or 7 minute kind of takedown of it. But it's I actually thought about watching it. That's the one where the what's her name, the lady from Prey, is in it, and she plays Tantu Mantooth. In Lord of the Rings, they just keep walking and walking and walking. At the beginning of the Dead Zone, he's in a car accident, and he's crippled, so he's Christopher not walking. Bones says he's a chud. I call people chuds all the time, but it's funny though, because like I say, the movie's going to play to something else besides a cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller. I prefer cheerleader plus hell or hell under duress. Yeah, that's what I mean. So yeah, this is totally aliens, and I'm kind of here for it. Like they got two cameramen or camera people. Sorry to be sexist. Two camera people, three camera people, and then two soldiers with flamethrowers, and they all got like protective suits on. Oh, three flamethrowers, so it's 3 and 3. Yeah, and they're down in the sewer just flamethrowing where they think the chud's living, and the people are back in the control room watching. Wait a minute. Yeah, I thought so. Aliens came out in '86. They stole from Chud. So Aliens totally ripped this scene off from Chud. I once again am right. The Chud is a masterpiece. Tell a friend. Chud is awesome. See, really, I kind of don't want to ruin it, but at the very end, they reveal that Chud stands for something else and has like this environmental message and stuff. So that's why every time that it gets slow, it annoys me because there's so much talking about in this movie. But once again, this is the mayor's office. It's like in Ghostbusters. Like I like to imagine mayors of towns are always confronted with weird supernatural problems or whatever, and they're all just standing around. What should we do about these monsters in the sewer? I don't know. Bones a chud. If you're a chud, I'm a chud too, my friend. Wouldn't you like to be a chud too? De Niro was unrecognizable as Capone in The Untouchables. There you go. There's another one. Like I say, De Niro's kind of the gold standard for the losing weight and gaining weight. Chud is on par with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes for some, or good, bad. Well, see, I think Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is obviously like a goofball movie. If you've ever seen like Rubber, it's a lot like Rubber. It's just sort of a silly, almost like meta movie. As where this, I feel like it falls like into Motel Hell or The Stuff. They have like these little social messages and sort of this schlocky movie. As I was saying, Chud turns out to be it's cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller, and then later on they realize it's caution, hazardous underground disposal, and there's barrels of nuclear waste down in the sewers, and the homeless people are turning into monsters. The homeless people are the chuds. So it's the toxic avenger. It's, you know what I mean, we're just bombarded with like all these other movies picking from Chud, which apparently everybody thinks sucks. So that's why it's like, no, I'm a big Chud champion. I'm a Chudpian. I don't know what that means. Chopping Mall is another one. That's a classic schlocky movie that has like a capitalistic thing and a futuristic thing and all that. RoboCop is, I think, the king, right? Like RoboCop, you can either be dumb as hell and enjoy, or you can be like real thinky about society and all the stuff it predicted. I love a good movie that's both. You can enjoy either way. Good jump scare. Hey, Cal L. Daly is here. Good morning or good evening to you, either way. Hey, Cal. Folks are saying, hey, well, it's nice of you to drop by, Cal. You ever seen Chud? If you're watching along or listening in the chat or in the comments later, shout out to the podcast audience. Take a drink anytime I mention the podcast audience. Have you seen Chud? What did you think of it? Just like for Motel Hell, I think it is divisive. I do agree with Jim on that front that it's some people will argue it's the worst movie, and other people will argue that it's a terrible movie. But obviously, I'm a big fan of it. I think it's fun and interesting. It's got a little social message. It's got it talks about the homeless situation. It's talking about nuclear waste disposal and it's got this whole freedom of the press thing where like the government is trying to suppress old boy. Like it's super left wing nonsense, but it's crazy and fun. So they have informed the Reverend Daniel Stern that Chud is a cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller, and they're going to flood the sewers with gas to try to gas out the Chuds. So they want to get the homeless people out before they get gassed. The backdrop and stuff going on in RoboCop is very deep for sure. The whole Mexican border stuff and Detroit going bankrupt, they predicted all that. And then just the whole like RoboCop being kind of this Jesus figure and all that. Like there's wild stuff in RoboCop, man. Today's era they would call RoboCop woke, yeah, for sure. Good morning, Gareth, my friend from Video Tasties. It's nice to have you here. Now, Gareth, be honest. You were honest with Motel Hell that you didn't like it, but you'll give it a rewatch. What do you think of Chud? So yeah, we're back at the mayor's office, and they're talking about flooding the sewers with gas. And dude's like, "You're gonna blow up the whole city? What are you, nuts?" Oh, here, I'll try to get in a better position for my microphone. I'm probably talking away from it. Nobody can hear me. Cheers, Jim. Oh, that's right. It's a Saturday morning for you. Do you have to go to work today, or are you just up because you're up? Yeah, actually, Guy, me and you are on the same page, brother. One of the movies that I did look at to watch was Hateful Eight. Um, I've been traveling, so because of that, my Netflix on my Fire Stick has gone out. It says you've been away from home too long, so I have to get in, like do something where they send me some sort of code to put in, and then I get a month or whatever to get my Netflix reactivated. So it works on my laptop, but I'm not sure if I can watch Hateful Eight on one side of the screen and then watch, you guys on the other. Like, I'm not sure if the capabilities of the internet or any of that. So. Yeah, that's the long, complicated excuse of why Hateful Eight kind of got nixed. But I maybe tomorrow, depending on how much time I have in between NFL playoffs and trying to make sure my car's dug out and is able to start, I may give it a see if I can get that Netflix up and running. Off today, good, Jim. Cheers, then. How you been, Donnie? It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you too, Cal. Man, I've been around. Yeah, I've been bouncing around, so I've been sketchy on getting caught up with everything. I'm way behind on seeing how everybody's doing and letting folks know. But it's good to see you too, man. I know you're a late night rider sometimes, so it's cool when you pop in. Cancel the Netflix and re-sign up. Actually, I was thinking about doing that just to save myself the trouble, because then it'll reset what my home network is. Apparently, that's the problem. Is they're on my old home network that I don't even have anymore. So, yeah, I think I have to like have some sort of code sent or whatever. So yeah, I might just re-up. But do I lose my watch history and all that crap? Super Bowl picks. Ooh, that's a toughie. Right now, I have a friend who's insisting Bills Lions. So I also have heard Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs are a juggernaut, but NFC's tough to pick. All of those are tough, man. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know who your Super Bowl is, and don't just tell me who your home team is. Let me know what you actually think. I think the Dolphins look good, but the Dolphins always struggle in the cold weather time of year. I love my Packers, but they're way too young. So yeah, I don't know. The Packers might upset the Cowboys, though. You never can tell. Cowboys have a history of playing shaky. Sunday night after the game, I'll be having some sort of live stream with my friend Larry, the horror cat dad. And we'll see if I'm in a good mood or a bad mood after my Packers win or lose. So my temperament might be grouchy and angry. We'll see. So here, John Hurd tried to go down into the sewer with his friend who's been snitching out the government and saying, about the chuds and all that. And dude got snatched up by a chud. We just saw the glowing eyes and the teeth, and the guy just got sucked into a pipe. So we are at the 101, 1 hour, 1 minute mark. There's 35 minutes left. Let's see here. I lose it. Raven 49er rematch, honestly. I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of the teams in the playoffs kind of came on strong at the end, so it's hard to be total believers in them. it's right now. Patrick Mahomes is so awesome. It's hard not to root against or not believe in him. But yeah, 49ers are pretty good this year, man. So yeah, we're back down in the sewers. Daniel Stern's now looking for John Hurd. I've been meaning to go through the John Hurd filmography, the star of our film. He's a weird lead. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Oh God, let's see. He has 180 credits. Let's see. His first film was. Wow, that's a long scrolling. 1975 Valley Forge TV movie. Rush It, On the Yard, Scarlet Letter, Chilly Scenes of Winter, Cat People. Okay, yeah, I've seen Cat People. He was in Chud. He was in Kate and Alley. He's Best Revenge. After Hours as Tom the Bartender. I love After Hours. I was mentioning Very Bad Things earlier. I love a good movie where the main character is just getting his butt kicked like darkly comic way. So yeah, I love After Hours. And Tales from the Dark Side, he did one episode. Alfred Hitchcock Presents, one episode. Miami Vice, one episode. The Equalizer, one episode. The Seventh Sign, he was in as the Reverend. He plays Paul in Big. Yeah, Tom Hanks' friend at the toy place, I think. Home Alone, he's the dad, Peter. He's in Gladiator, the boxing movie, not the Gladiator movie. He's in Home Alone 2 and as the dad again. He's in The Line of Fire. He's in The Pelican Brief. Outer Limits, one episode. Snake Eyes. That's just fun to yell out. Just in life, when anything's going on, just yell out Snake Eyes. Everybody will pay attention. Pollock. O. This is my O face. O. Law and Order, Dying on the Edge. Monday Night Mayhem. It's a good Howard Cosell movie if you're not familiar with it. Gareth is like, who the hell is Howard Cosell? He was in White Chicks, which I hate. He was in Chum Scrubber. He was in Numbers. He was in Battlestar Galactica as Commander Billy Garner for an episode. He was in Prison Break. He was in yeah, this dude's got a really good. He was in Southland, Entourage, Too Big to Fail, Sharknado, Modern Family, Mistress, One Day More, NCIS Los Angeles, Lizzie Borden Chronicles. Is that a gun in your pocket? Give me a break. Any other good ones, or did you fizzle out? You fizzled out on me. All right, so that's John Hurd's streamography. Good for him. I've always tried to figure out where to place him. He's one of those that guy actors. Like as soon as you see him, you're like, oh yeah, that guy. So shout out to John Hurd. He's a very talented actor who established himself as a respected thespian in the late 70s. He's better known as his turn as Peter McAllister, Kevin McAllister's father in Home Alone. He was in Community Theater. Yeah, a bunch of other stuff I'm not interested in. But good for you, John Hurd. You're not a hero like old boy was, but Cal also says Eagles and Niners with an upset I could see. Yeah, Eagles, you can't bet against the Eagles. You're right. They're in that same group of people who seem like they could do something. Yeah, Eagles and Niners was NFC. I feel you. You're good. So now there's a dead, what is that, a dog? Oh, it's the dog from the beginning. The woman walks into a tunnel, the photographer who's pregnant, she walks into a tunnel and she sees something gross and bloody hanging there. And when she walks over, she realizes it's that dog from the opening scene, the prologue. Another good mustache. This movie's just riddled with awesome mustaches. That dude's mustache is so good, I think it's fake. So the guy with the awesome mustache, he found something down by the river, and apparently I was thinking it's a body, right? Yep, sure enough. It's the head of a woman down in the washed up out of the water. Hmm. So yeah, we have approximately it's 106:40 with approximately just under a half hour left of Chud. So we're building to the Chud climax. Um, the cops are all shook after seeing the headless lady down at the lake, or down at the river, I should say. These cops are jaded, I tell you. They're jaded. You can tell because the dude's collar is loose. Clearly, he's jaded. Yeah, you can see they're doing a slow pushing on this cop, so he's given like lazy exposition because we just saw somebody's head decapitated. So now we have to, we've had a very heightened, high tension scene. So now we have to have a low key kind of release the tension scene. You know, you, like I said earlier with the monster movie beats, like about every 10 minutes, the monster should have some sort of appearance or there should be a kill or something. So, now that we've had a monster kill. Well, we saw the dog and then the head. So we have to have a little bit of a let the things breathe a little bit here. Man, tacky wallpaper. I hope that never comes back. She got a baby blue toilet and pink diamond plate, pseudo diamond plate wallpaper. That's wild. Liam Neeson apparently is a snowy film goat. Narnia, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, the Narnia is a good one. The Gray is a good snowy film. If you haven't seen The Gray, that's awesome. That's Liam Neeson versus a wolf, or a couple wolves, right? The Cold Pursuit, The Huntsman, and A Walk Among the Tombstones, and maybe K-19 is a. I never saw K-19. That's a sub movie, right? Or is it cold outside during the sub? So here, the heroine of the movie, she's taking a shower, and very tasteful. They only shoot her from the shoulders up, and they keep cutting to the drain because we know monsters live in the sewer, and the she starts to notice the water's all clogging because the drain's clogged. Wow, she just keeps a coat hanger right outside the shower. I'm not making that joke. So she's digging in the shower with the coat hanger and pulls out, a blood splatter, and it just covers her in this disgusting, gross blood. So it's that's actually kind of cool. They did the Psycho, but they didn't rip off Psycho. Like she didn't pull down the shower curtain or nothing, but they showed like the blood splatter and everything. Once again, I champion Chud. I'm a Chudpian. Let me turn this way a little bit. So here the unhoused people are out wandering the streets because it's not safe for them to be in the sewer anymore. So there's like a severe homeless problem on the streets. That's what I mean. There's like a lot of sociological messages, I should say. There's John Goodman. He's a cop, and old buddy who was in Murphy Brown. I can't remember his name. Jay something. So yeah, let's. Is John Goodman credited here? No, John Goodman is not credited in the IMDb main people. Christopher Curry is the guy who played the I don't know, beatnik, hippie, what do you call it? I guess nowadays he'd be a blogger, but I don't know what you would call him, like a conspiracy theorist, I suppose, or whatever. So once again, we see the homeless dudes hanging out on the port on the street drinking wine, and monsters start coming out of the sewer. So of course, when they go tell people, they're like, "Well, yeah, you're drunk." Of course you see monsters in the sewer. There's young John Goodman, you handsome rascal. Let's see if this is in John Goodman's credits. John Goodman, this must be, he's got a pretty big part. So now the chuds are attacking the homeless on the street. Jeez. John Goodman has 171 acting credits. Let's see if he includes chud among them. He must. John Goodman's first film was in 1983, The Face of Rage. He was in The Survivors as a commando. I do remember him in The Survivors. He's good. He's the coach in Revenge of the Nerds. And there he is, Chud, 1984, Cop in Diner. John Goodman was also in True Stories, Talking Heads, Wild Wild Life, Raising Arizona. So that's two people from Raising Arizona in this movie. Moonlighting, The Wrong Guys, Punchline, Everybody's All American, Sea of Love, Always, Arachnophobia, King Ralph, Barton Fink, The Babe, Matinee, Born Yesterday, We're Back, Hudsucker Proxy, Flintstones, Streetcar Named Desire, The Borrowers, Fallen, The Big Lebowski, Blues Brothers 2000. Okay, I'll pretend I didn't say that. Dirty Work. The Norm Macdonald one, Bringing Out the Dead, The Simpsons, Futurama, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Coyote Ugly, Ed, Emperor's New Groove, One Night at McCool's, Monsters Inc., Jungle Book 2, West Wing, Clifford's Big Movie, Beyond the Sea, Kronk's New Groove, Cars, A Year Without Santa Claus, Speed Racer, You Don't Know Jack, The Artist, Damages, Roseanne Tricks and Treats, Flight. John Goodman be working. I'm just scrolling. 10 Cloverfield Lane, that's a good one. Kong Skull Island. Transformers Last Night, Kong Skull Island 2. Damn you, John Goodman, you work. Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. All right, that's enough, John Goodman. You are very impressive, sir. So now back at the movie. We're at the 114:23 mark. John Hurd is running through the park away from the chud, and he's found a couple of homeless dudes sleeping, and then he turns the corner and realizes they've had their bodies ripped off. So there's just all these dead homeless people just laying everywhere, all ripped apart to shreds. So yeah, awesome monster movie stuff. And then he goes over and grabs one homeless guy who appears to be alive, and dude is turning into a chud. Like he's got the teeth and his eyes are starting to glow and his face is green and everything. So we learn that it's kind of a zombie thing, you know. Let's see. The story of USSR's first nuclear ballistic missile suffer malfunction in the nuclear reactor in its maiden voyage. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was a submarine movie. K-19 was. Is that the Widowmaker? In the North Atlantic in 1961, the submarine's crew, led by the unwilling Captain Alexei Vostrikov, races against time to prevent a Chernobyl-like nuclear disaster, which threatens not only the lives of his crew, but the potential to ignite a world war between the superpowers. Wow. Coffee times 2, and Jim is almost awake. Attaboy, Jim. Cheers for your coffee. That's another thing about New York. I've never really been to downtown areas of New York, but they just make it appear like New York is constantly under being rebuilt, and there's just scaffolding everywhere. Like there's a classic New York shot, just scaffolding, just a whole facade of a building, nothing but stuff to walk under. So now the The mayor's henchman is already telling him, we got to pump the gas into the sewers to kill these chuds. And the one guy's telling him, you're going to blow up the whole damn sewer and we're going to kill all these people. You're nuts. So there's all this tension and infighting amongst like the chief of police and the mayor and all these folks. Yeah, like I said, it had a little twist to it. It's really sort of an extended Twilight Zone episode. I feel like this could probably be shrunk down into like a half hour or something, and you could do a really good Twilight Zone or like Tales from the Crypt or something like that. So then we see the newsmen reporting about what's going on with the Chud murders, and the mayor and all them are figuring out where the manhole covers are so they can flood the underground with gas. Oh, that's right. They park cars on top of all the manhole covers. I'm sorry, the utility hole covers. I don't mean to be sexist. It parks on the utility covers, and then when people down there can't get out because they're trapped, with the cars parked on top. So it's like this high tension sort of. Our heroes can't escape. By God. It's true. I watch a lot of New York City streamers, and everywhere seems to be under construction. You know what I mean? They're always walking under scaffolding. I'm a tall man, so like I imagine myself just like always hunched over, like walking around in New York. I don't know. That's why it jumps out at me so much. Like scaffolding makes me uncomfortable. And also, when I talked about John Good movie, What Planet Are You From? With Gary Shandling, Annette Bening, and Greg Kinnear. Goodman, yeah, as you can see, I burned through his filmography because there's so many good ones. Like he's been in a ton of good stuff. But when they list the like 10 main people in Chud, Goodman wasn't one of them. So once again, I was comparing this to Motel Hell. Motel Hell had Ratzenberger, early Ratzenberger for Cliffy from Cheers. So now here's early John Goodman. So here we're back in the apartment where the heroine lives, and she's trying to what? She's blocking the door, but what is there like? What is she trying to get at? I'm drawing a blank on what she's up to. So yeah, John Hurd and Daniel Stern are trying to run away, and they keep finding that the utility hole covers are locked down because cars are parked on top of them. But yeah, they're banging on the thing. It's all the underground scenery with like the bricks and everything, and when they wet it all down, and so it reflects light. We were talking about this with the Dead Zone last night. It looks so cool visually, like the way it reflects light all around it because of these cobblestone walls and stuff, and it like blings off, and it looks like diamonds and stuff. So yeah, even though they're in a sewer, it's cinematically very pretty to look at. Guy says he worked in the grocery business for years. We called stocking feminine pad aisle, stocking the manhole covers. Please don't delete me. I can't believe you tricked me into reading that out loud, you bastard. So now the onlookers are sort of gathering around to see what the police are up to, and they're getting ready to flood the sewers with gas. So we see like the chief of police is like smoking a cigarette, and he's just all like, he don't care anymore. Oh, okay. I think they sent the cops to get his girlfriend, and she's put a bunch of stuff in front of the door. I was trying to figure out what was going on with this scene. I didn't remember that. But the big client, like the important drama here, is John Hurd and Daniel Stern in the sewers, and now they're digging through the garbage, and they're talking about how all the garbage is toxic waste. and there's all this like gross, disgusting stuff all over it. And he realizes this is the poison dump for all the toxic waste in town. They've been dumping it down there for years. And then they're like, holy shit. They're freaking out because they're like making sense of it. And they realize there's the name CHUD on the side of the toxic waste. Come on, give me the payoff. Yeah, I think they eventually find a barrel full of toxic sludge that says caution, hazardous underground disposal. It reminds me a lot of the way I say Twilight Zone is it reminds me of like To Serve Man or whatever, where the aliens land and they're like, we have this book about how we're here to help mankind. It's called To Serve Man, and then this dude translate it and they figure out it's a cookbook. Like that's kind of what this feels like. Like we're given this one story that there's these cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers and they're like basically underground monsters, but really they're just toxic Avengers. The nuclear waste has turned them into monsters. Yeah, this is okay. This is all handheld POV. Yeah, I defy critics to go back and look at this again. This is way better than it's getting killed on Rotten Tomatoes. So they found the TV cameras from that crew with the flamethrowers that got killed earlier, and they're trying to connect back to home base and tell them, hey, we're down here. But they're already starting to pump gas into this. They're already pumping gas into the sewers. So they're getting all drowsy. But uh, there's these decapitated heads on the ground from the news crew that got killed. So they keep finding like arms and limbs just laying all over the ground. I wonder who did the effects. Um, while we're waiting for the ending to play out here. The sequel is titled Bud the Chud. It sucks. The creature attacks Mr. Bud. Breakdown. Yeah. Theatrical release. Chud was given a limited release theatrically by New World. Beginning in August 1984, the film opened at number 13 in the box office. That's brutal. Imagine 13 movies and you open, 13. Man, that's broke. It grossed $1.7 million with an average gross of $5,686 in 310 theaters. In its second week, it dropped to 14 at the box office, and it ended up only grossing $2.8 million. Chud was released for home video on Betamax and VHS in 1984. It was released in DVD at Anchor Bay. The company released the film again in 2008 as part of its cult fiction series. It was later released being part of a 2-disc multi-feature alongside Children of the Corn, Creepshow, and House. House is another movie in this same genre. That's it's horror, but it's comedy. A 2-disc special edition was released by Blu-ray on Blu-ray by Arrow Video. That version is now out of print. Reception. Rotten Tomatoes is a review aggregator, reports that 29% approval rating based on 14 reviews. Lawrence Van Gelder from the New York Times said that Chud makes no pretension towards serious thesis about government or the environment. It is meant to be light commercial entertainment. In the category of horror films, it stands as a praiseworthy effort. I don't know. I don't think it makes a serious thesis, but it clearly is making a statement. Larry. Keith Phipps of the AV Club wrote, perfect for bleary-eyed late-night viewing and pretty much unwatchable at any other hour. Ouch. You cut me deep, Keith Phipps. Patrick Noggle of DVD Verdict said, it's a fun film that focuses more on entertainment than deeper issues. F you, Patrick Nagel. This is the definitive treatise on our time. New York Times best list of set films, calling it more funny than scary. Bloody Disgusting rated it 4.5 out of 5 stars and called it definitely one of the best B movies, best kept secrets. So damn straight Bloody Disgusting. You people get it. It won Best Fantasy Film at the Brussels International Festival of Fantasy Film in 1985. Found footage horror film Dwellers has been publicly referred by its writer and director Drew Fortier as being heavily influenced by Chud. The anthology Chud Lives, a tribute anthology, was released in 2018. Yeah. Huh. So lots of Chud info. But we're playing to the climax. Our heroine, who was trapped in the apartment with the cops coming to get her, escaped, and she stole a cop car because she's awesome. And she's on the run to where her boyfriend is, her baby daddy. And she's going to apparently, I don't know, try to move one of the cop cars, steal a second cop car. She's total Grand Theft Auto. So now the ineffectual police chief who decided to give up is now back in the fight. He's re-engaged Maverick, and he's like, "Give me your car keys. I need to let some people out of these sewers." So yeah, we see the government is just behind all of this. It's their fault, man. Hard not to be distracted. There's a big ad for cheesesteaks in the background. So so now the police chief and the rich guy, the NRC guy, are arguing about what's really going down on there and how this is all actually a cover up for nuclear waste. You know what CHUD stands for? Cannibalistic my ass. Contamination hazard urban disposal. That's what it is. Contamination hazard. I thought it was caution hazard underground disposal. Contamination hazard underground disposal. You can't hide it anymore, Wilson. Yeah, this is great melodrama. They're both overacting like just key. Good mustache and facials. So now the NRC guy pulls a pistol on him. I mean, it's only a 22. Wrestle him. How are you going to cover up killing a cop? Oh yeah, this is just playing to Shakespearean level. Oh, and the cop hit him with one punch and knocked him out. So our heroes just keep going from different ladder to ladder in the subway or in the sewer system. It reminds me of a video game. You ever get trapped in the sewers in a video game system? You just keep running around trying to find the ladder you can get out on. Everything steals from CHUD. It all comes back to CHUD. Let me see when the color purple come out. Did the color purple steal from CHUD? So now the police captain is running away from his confrontation with the rich dude who he knocked out. And I'm assuming he's going to try to help old buddy escape from the sewers too. How far away was his baby mama? She has had to drive like all of New York to get to them. Well, I guess it's New York. I answered my own question. That was pretty stupid. When I say baby mama, I need to be more exact. It is Kim Greist. Let me see what she's been in. What do I know her from? I know her from all sorts of stuff. She has 29 acting credits. Her first film was CHUD, 1984. Then she was in Brazil, Miami Vice, Manhunter as Detective Graham's wife, Molly Graham. She plays Beth in Throw Mama from the Train. That's also where I know her from. She's Tales from the Dark Side. She's in Punchline. She's in an episode of Monsters. Your filmography is pretty impressive, Beth. Roswell, Chicago Hope, The Wonderful World of Disney, Touched by an Angel, The X-Files, Throw Mama from the Train, The Deleted Scenes, Judging Amy, one episode. So, Connecticut native Kim Greist spent her late teen years in Europe as a professional model. She returned to the U.S. at 20 and started an acting career. Made her first movie bow in the scuzzy horror epic Chud. Screw you, whoever wrote this. So now the rich guy, the NRC guy, is stealing a bread truck. I think it's actually supposed to be like some sort of police vehicle, but it looks like a bread truck. And he's trying to run down the chief of police and the two dudes, John Hurt and Daniel Stern. Wow. Let's see. Sorry, I've been tricked people into singing "Do Your Balls Hang Low" before. Well, yeah, I've tied them in a bow. Cheesesteak sounds so good, right? That's what I was thinking, Jim. Like that scene when it said cheesesteaks in ice cream. I was like, I could go for a cheesesteak and an ice cream. That sounds delicious. This movie hardly seems 40 years old, right? Like to me, I still remember it when I was a little kid. Like I said, it was a video store hit. You know, it's like I think probably we tried to rent it. It was out, which made it even more wantable. You know, so there now the bad guy blows up in the bread truck he was driving. So we get our comeuppance. And that's a cool shot. We see the backs of our heroes and the big fire in the background. There's all these burning orange embers. And then the John Hurt and Kim Greist are hugging. Oh, shit, and Bosch is okay. Oh, that's the cop. Wow, that's really cool. There's all these orange embers coming off of the flaming truck. And then the silhouette of the guy walking with all, like, yeah, it's really, really well, beautiful shot, like great cinematography. I mean, it's super cornball. The hero and the woman are making out and stuff. But yeah, it plays to a crescendo. I like it. It's chud. It's a masterpiece. Okay, now John Hurt has kneeled down and put his head against the womb of his baby mama. Give me a break. Give me a break. That's a bit much. Maybe there's a reason the director never worked again. I take that back. He did one religious movie. And we follow the embers and the smoke up to the sky. And there's the title cards. Yeah, so the credits roll. So Flora Bosch was Laura Mato. So that's Kara, the lady up front. John Hurd, Kim Greist, Brenda Curran, Justin Hall, Christopher Curry, Vic Palacios, J.C. Quinn, Beverly Bentley, Rocco Siclari, John Goodman, Jay Thomas. I knew that dude's name was Jay. Jay Thomas has been a bunch of stuff, but I'm too lazy to look up his IMDb. But that was Chud. Thank you so much for watching with me. This one was basically to kind of keep my streak of doing a movie every night alive. That's kind of part of the reason I took a night off from the snow too. I knew after the new year I would kind of settle in to try to do more streams as often as possible because I love talking with you guys and I love the little a community we've built. That sounds like such a weird word to say, but my peeps. I love y'all, my peeps. So yeah, I thought we would watch Chud, one for them, one for me. We watched a big movie last night that everybody likes. Now we watched a small movie that nobody likes. So once again, if you're a fan of Chud, make sure to put in the comments, why you like it. If you hate it, explain why you hate it. If you've never seen it and I ruined it all for you, are you happy with me? Are you angry? Give me your thoughts. Tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be watching something. I'm not quite sure yet. I'd be willing to bet Insomnia. I think our friend Guy, Caveman Movies and More, has picked out my movie for next week. Jim says, enjoy the rest of the night and morning. I will, Jim. You too, buddy. You enjoy your day off. Tomorrow we'll probably watch something, maybe Insomnia, maybe something else. Maybe there'll be some new crazy development. I'll have to watch some movie that pertains to that. You never can tell. So, also on Sunday, our friend Horror Cat Dad will be dropping by. He's going to watch something with us. I'm not totally sure yet. Maybe he has a suggestion. Maybe I have a suggestion. It'll be a surprise. You never can tell. And then Tuesday of next week, I'll be having a simulcast on my channel and his channel with Pugwall 316, our friend Matt. We're going to watch part of Wings Week, we're going to watch The Carpenter. He's watching Wings Hauser, the classic character actor. He's kind of a crazy wild man who's insane. So we're going to watch a Wings Hauser movie, The Carpenter. Other than that, I'm sure I'll be watching other movies along the way. I have a stream planned with Patrick, who was on the stream earlier, Have Cheetah Will View, on Valentine's Day. He and I are going to do an interview. Now that we've been mentioning it, let's give us some shout outs. Now It's Dark Jim, thank you, and Caveman Movies and More for hanging out till the very end. My buddy Brian from Brian's Masks. Echo Cero was here. Who else? Kal-El Daly dropped in. Who else is coming to my mind? At one point, we had all sorts of folks in here, so I'm sorry for those who I'm forgetting. It's been a long night. It's 4 a.m. here. So we have completed our streak of making sure we're watching a movie every night until I eventually can't do it anymore. But I think that's a good place to wrap up for tonight and get started on a new blessed day for tomorrow. So you, dear viewer, I thank you for you being here and for listening. Shout out to the podcast audience. Have a drink. Other than that, I'll wish you green grass and high tides forever and say good night, my friends.